Here's to hoping that the last few levels are gonna be nice and easy once I ever get to them. These first few rooms should go by without a hitch, right? So, speaking of movies, for whatever reason, when this game, Solomon's Key, got ported to the PC Engine / TurboGrafx 16, it was given a workover to make all the sprites and everything match a movie tie-in to a movie called Zipang, which is sort of a, from what I briefly understood, to be kind of like somebody modern time traveling back to olden times, feudal Japan, and some other supernatural stuff going on. I have no idea if the movie is any good or not, but wouldn't be the first or the last puzzle game to get an IP switch to make it more appealing for some people, I guess. Solomon's Key Isekai? I guess so. Although I don't think there were any, like, magical brick-creating wizards or anything. It was just, you know, let's change a few sprites around and it doesn't have to actually do anything with the movie. Alright, wait till 6100 on the timer while jumping over ghosts. About 200 seconds per ghost pass, or 200 ticks on the timer. So when these ghost pass is when I need to go. That's bad. Okay, it worked out. There's a little off-center on the square. Just play it safe and bounce the ghost back. Something I should be doing a whole lot more of, but I don't have to deal with them. Yeah, I wonder what the very first isekai and media would have been. Japanese style, asterisk. So, you know, the origin of the term. need to remove this block first, then this block, then this block. Oh, get the potion. Don't bonk my head on the ceiling. Oh, you're welcome, by the way, Quirky, for whatever I did to help out. I need to set up getting rid of these flames. Oh, helping decide where to put the post, yeah. I do sometimes, like in various discords, also struggle on where I should put something. Wondering, you know, is this something I should post? But I figure it's way wrong, then somebody will let me know a better spot. Learn by doing, I guess. Come on, there we go. Yeah, there's also kind of like a little bit of, yeah, I want to be a good guest in another person's space, so to follow like best practices and whatnot. Oh, here we go. We get a fireball. Whether that's actually going to be useful, I have no idea. Get something else good. Still haven't quite figured out the patterns to these secret rooms, if there are patterns or if things are just distributed all over the place. Alright, should not be dying on this floor, as long as I'm careful. It's a ton of enemies all in one spot. What am I doing? I get a little confused when that second enemy zooms in. That messes up the patterns. Yeah, I think there's a lot of library enthusiasts in this group. I would agree with that puzzle. Alright, got back there, no problem. To the Dragon Step room. That one enemy just kind of like half falls off the step and then evaporates. At least the enemies aren't like infinitely lived. Can be defeated eventually. Nope, 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 nope. I almost made it out of there alive. I had the dragons timed correctly and I messed up creating the block. Oh, that librarian simulator game. Looks like a pretty interesting game, and I was joking about it being a librarian's nightmare, having to rearrange a whole bunch of blocks that are out of order. Oh, that's not gonna work. That worked out perfectly. Need to do that a whole lot from now on. Things timed, right? Not like that though. Okay, round 2. Still have plenty of time. Okay. And over here, go for it. Bit more time. Create the second bridge. Why are the enemies not shooting fire at me now from this level? World may never know. Oh, that's not... Oh, I mistimed the jump. What I probably should be doing there is maybe jumping up and getting the dragon upstairs to breathe fire, which will pause it so that it's not falling directly on my head. We'll get a 1-up out of this at least. Or there we go. A little worried about that. Areas sometimes can warp all over the place. I accidentally fell down. And at least the game is kind enough to give me the opportunity of finding and using that timer reset power-up. That's really cutting it close. At least I got that brick out of the way. Nope. No. Messed up the jump. I'd like to be a little bit more consistent with that. Not sure if that's going to actually happen. At least I can recognize when I'm in trouble there. And get out of the way. Okay, wait for the dragon to spawn. Oh, that did not work out. I was banking on that one dragon blowing fire when I jumped, but because it was falling at that point, it could not breathe fire. Another chance here. No, I jumped the gun. Jumped just a little too early, and that was enough for the dragon to breathe fire because it was still on the ledge. Oh, the slick move is jumping over the dude twice and then dropping the block. Yeah, it took me a little while to figure out. Like, I was trying to think, how am I supposed to get rid of all these, like, punchy guys on these platforms? And then realizing that there was enough room above that one to be able to manipulate it and take advantage. But yeah, happy Father's Day to everyone who's celebrating. work my way back to that room again. I have to kind of wonder too, like, I'm sure this game back in the day was something that popped up a lot on Nintendo Power hotline calls. And how would you effectively describe to someone over a phone call like how to solve some of these floors? Because there's just so much going on. Yeah, Cat Dad counts for Father's Day. I'm cool with that. Reminded of the, you know, Simpsons solving a Rubik's Cube in their basement during a hurricane, and gotta be something like that. So, I'm glad I introduced you to this game, Quirky, and I'm curious if you've given it a shot or on your Switch. I wish Nintendo and, you know, the various publishers would be a bit more, like, even more about making these old games available. This is kind of like, there's all this cool stuff, and I'm sure it's a rights and licensing nightmare, but there are all sorts of games that would be cool to replay again if they were made available. Didn't time that jump quite right, but I recognized it. Okay, ready to go on the next ghost jump. A bit slow. Bounce the ghost back. Watching me panic is fun enough. That's good. Yeah, Simon, get some graph paper for the Room 42 solution. Set up coordinates. I'm also a little bit, I mean, granted this didn't happen too often in games back then, but I'm kind of surprised this game doesn't have a level editor for people to make their own puzzles and share them. But sharing data back then is not too convenient, especially for cartridge games. I think Excitebike had a level editor, so if Excitebike can do it, then why not other games? Yeah, games where you need to draw maps can be a little intimidating. But at least with most of these games, they still follow some degree of logic. I remember watching somebody, I think it was Sakanakau, playing one of the prequels to Legacy of the Wizard. Was a game called... Oh, guess what I forgot to do? I got to get rid of that block down there. I think I can still... Oh wait, no, I haven't haven't even done that part yet, this whole area. But Focus. There were like that Xanadu game had some really obtuse rules about how the levels worked and game mechanics that were extremely unfriendly. So that I can't imagine how anybody could have possibly beat the game way back in the day. Alright, recovered. Still had plenty of time left to go. Try not to get attacked by the punchy guy. Didn't want to pick up that potion. That just gives me points, but I think it can lead to time running out faster, but I don't have to worry about that too much for this hidden level. It would be nice if I got some useful treasure. I think I'm just gonna zoom on to the next level. Still deciding on the new computer for Quirky. Okay, gargoyles out of the way. Yeah, any kind of big purchase I always get like super nervous about. It's relatable. Make the bridge over. Okay, back to the room of dragon steps. Quirky deciding whoop, on trying to get a temporary sort of stopgap choice or getting a monster machine. I will say my general thought is maybe I should be making these jumps. They're not that hard. Yeah. When I think of computer stuff, you know, do I want to get something that's gonna be like a stopgap or go for longer? Like I think I prefer to go for like a longer lasting setup. Then I also am somewhat tolerant of slow processing and whatnot. That was not the right time to go. Yeah, that worked out. A little too close to the edge there and fell off. Trying to get as close to the edge as possible, sometimes not quite working out. Oh, but then also the other challenge is I don't really do a whole lot of gaming directly on a PC, so that would be another factor. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to make a extra life happen or not. Oh. I've been controlling my jumps okay. I'll just take a moment here. Public service announcement that, you know, maybe up to jump isn't the greatest way to control a game, but sometimes that's all you got with your controller and your game design. Let's get the timer now while I am more or less in the position to get it. Yeah, 7 likes to future-proof. Yeah, it's kind of like anyone's guess too on the fluctuations of prices of various hardware bits and whatnot. Okay, recognize that that was going to be a G-Dragon setup. Alright, I think we're about ready to get to the end. That is too close for comfort. Alright, we made it for 47. So, take a moment to think. So step 1 is always going to be get rid of the block under the monster spawner, because that's just going to be trouble no matter what. Yeah, everybody can't wait for the AI bubble to burst. So that will get the monsters out of my way. Although, yeah, there's not really any way I could use those. Is there? Question mark. Like it might technically, I don't know. It seems dicey, but in theory, sending the monsters down, they could clear out some bits and pieces of the wall, but I don't know if that's actually going to help me out. Yeah, we should all hire Simon to make stuff up for us. So how much of this is set up? It's like no matter what, I need to find my way into the lower left before I drop the flame and clear that out, and then find my way back up. That's my general plan. Like it is possible for me to, excuse me, use the monsters to kind of clear out this area and then fall down in there, but I need that block that the flame is going to land on, so I don't think that's going to help me out too much. Not 100% sure if I want to get rid of that block just yet. Do I want to drop this? I don't think I need to do anything with that yet. So putting this block down there helps out. Putting that block there helps out. That pathway is now open to the exit. How do I get out here? I didn't think that part through. Uh... Hmm. Well, if I get rid of this block over here, then I can definitely fall in from the left safely and get to the door. So that's what I need to do, but how do we get back up from here? Having placed that block down there. There's no way for me to get back up. I had been thinking of, I didn't need to practice the technique I pondered about last time where falling on a gap I can sort of do like a wall jump. Seeming a little more like maybe I should have been doing that. No. There are sometimes when I can fall and I can make that maneuver into a space, and sometimes I cannot. I haven't quite figured out that difference. Okay. Give this another run through and hopefully I can get back to that floor. I can only hope that the floors following that one are going to be super easy to figure out. like a victory lap or something. And it's enticing, but probably not a good long-term strategy to sacrifice a life to get the key and then just go to the exit. Because I might need those lives on the following stages. Not that I've been... Oh, son of a... Walked a little bit too far. Let's do a little reset. Randomly cut some blocks here out of frustration. Do a little death warp back to level 41, room 41. Yeah, if death strats exist, then they are legit. Carefully step left and right. Don't step into the flames. I wonder if there's like some kind of a weird playthrough of this where people collect all the treasures, because those two round gems under the blue flames, to my way of thinking, would be impossible to retrieve. Maybe there is some kind of way to collect those without getting roasted. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering too, Simon. Like, there could be some death trap treasures that are just there to make you do something that's unwise. The Trap Pizza and Ninja Turtles NES. Case in point. A little part of the bridge. Pop some ghosts and wait till 6100. Should be on this trip. Didn't want to build that. I don't know why I built that rock there. That's not what I wanted to do. Safely wait for the dragon. Now, because I already have the key, I should wait till 6,300. Because the timing is different. It should be on the next trip. That's what I should have done the first time. Make a little bridge. This floor should be fine. I think I've got the right strategy to get through here. As long as I don't miss any steps. Hi, there's Sakana Cow. Yeah, I traded the boulder in for a Matic. Welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. I was just reminiscing a little while ago about watching your playthrough of Xanadu and how unfair that game is, and makes this game look like a cakewalk, I think. Curious if you've ever played through this or not. Did I do this right? I did not. I need to get rid of this brick up here. Otherwise that fire's not going to fall far enough. So you have played it, but not all the way through. Yeah, I think I tried playing this once or twice a few times and only got like maybe halfway through or so, and then decided to give it a full-on try. It's been kind of hit and miss on progress, but feeling confident that I should at least be able to beat it eventually, someday. I mean, everything's not really that based on randomness, so should be able to plan forward and figure out how to get through all the traps. Even though I'm hunting for bonuses here, I haven't... Oh, what? No, I accidentally picked up that thing that I could have turned into a fireball. That's okay, because I haven't actually been taking advantage of those anyway. Just got a little bit too much into the rhythm of destroying a block and moving forward. I guess a safer route would be to destroy a block behind me, but that would take a little bit longer, I think, and I wouldn't be able to get to as many blocks. Okay, gargoyles out of the way. Still haven't quite figured out the best way for getting through those enemies, but been working out so far. Getting through that lower left. What are you doing there? I think I accidentally jumped into the ceiling. Just need to find a consistent way to get through this next floor. Like, I feel like I have 95% of this floor figured out, but there's still a little bit more to maybe get through it safer. Oh, I was supposed to pick up the fairy there. Hopefully this will not be a problem. You want to come down here anytime or not? Never mind. Alright, made my way over there pretty easily. Come on, a little bit further. Thank you. It's like they're beneficial, but they will also prevent me from placing a block, so they can be trapped sometimes. I didn't destroy that block soon enough. The dragon got in the way. Should have been a little more careful, that's for sure. Wait for the right timing here. Unless I beat this level, I'm not going to have a extra life. It's maybe a little too a little too close for comfort. Like, for the most part, the sprites in this game are pretty generous with what is going to damage you and what's going to be safe. Do this, get the boxer moving faster. Deal. I couldn't quite make it past the fire. Okay, we're doing this one more time. Need to get back past that level 46. Give this another good solid try. Gonna speed run right to where we need to go. There must be a bell hidden somewhere in that room that I'm not getting. Would give me a fairy. Progress to an extra life, but I don't think I need it that much. Been pretty reliably collecting enough of those, and I don't think there's a way for me to get 2 extra lives with how many levels left there are. Oh, thank you, Sakana Cow, for the resubscription. Thank you very much. Enjoy your Spelunker-based emotes. Okay, finally realized a little bit that the control I'm using is based on a Switch layout. Because the D-pad's in a little sort of non-central spot. Sometimes I've been pressing diagonal ups that I shouldn't. But at least today hasn't been too bad. Get the key, get the key. Build immediately. Make a spot under the bell. Deflect the second ghost for better timing. Build part of a bridge. Destroy part of a bridge. Hop over ghosts until 6100. Like 2 or 3 more passes. Okay, when these ghosts next pass, and make my move. I was a little on the edge there. On the side, I wasn't sure if I was gonna smash my head on the ceiling or not. Wait for a dragon to go by. I think that floor is now permanently etched in my brain for the solution. It's a matter of not messing up the jumping. So what happens at 6100? So for that level with the constantly spawning dragons at the top, there is a pause in their spawn pattern that lines up just right. And if it's the first time you've gotten into the level, then it's around 6100. Then if it's later on, if you already got the key, the timing changes. Not 100% sure why, but they have spawned at a different rate at that point, and then the magic number becomes 6300. Yeah, it is, excuse me, like a timing thing, and thankfully there's an on-screen timer. Help figure it out, but that was a strategy it took me a good long while to figure out. Because I hadn't noticed the gap in the dragons until a certain point. That jump was maybe a little too close to the fire, but it worked out. For a moment there, I had the sneaking suspicion that I'd forgotten to do something correctly, but I think everything's fine. Another fairy. Get some bonuses maybe. I can get a fireball. That hasn't helped me out too much, but I still have it in my back pocket if I need it. And I didn't want to pick that up. That reduced my timer down to 5,000, but that's okay. I've already got a fireball. I think the only thing I could really hope for beyond that in these blocks would be either another fairy or a mythical 1-up. I'm gonna have it at time. Yeah, maybe don't keep fireballs in the pockets. Would be a fire hazard. Then begs the question, is money fireballs if money burns a hole in your pocket? And unfortunately, are no score-based 1-ups. Otherwise, I would be way more excited about What am I doing here? Why? I bonked my head on the ceiling trying to jump. Because sometimes I can get through that just fine, and sometimes the enemy from the upper left kind of crashes my party a little bit. Did they not give me... Oh, the other fairy is, like, going on a little trip over there. I wondered where it had gone. I was trying to jump over that. Looks like I'll be needing my extra life immediately. The way things are going, I was not gonna let that gargoyle fall on my head. Oh, I just about fell into that pit, trying to build a bridge over. Okay. Jump. Over. Jump over. Don't get too concerned about trying to make them rebound. Probably the better strategy. Starting to get a little low on timer, but I think I still have plenty to finish the level. Yep, plenty of time. One last shot on these dragon stairs. Oh, I have 2 lives. Okay, yeah, because I got the one up. Do the hop and the drop. Ooh, okay. Kind of missed the jump there. Cutting it close on many fronts. Will eventually find my way up there. That enemy out of the way. Don't make the same mistake I made last time. Okay, wait for the opportune time to go here. was a little close, but it worked out. Time reset. Might be having to contend with another monster soon. Wait for the opportune time here. Wasn't it? I'm gonna mess that up. I think I still have plenty of time if I can just do this maneuver correctly. There we go. Alrighty. A little nerve-wracking on that room. Okay, here's my current sticking point. Room 47. Still have not fully figured out how to get through this correctly, but still pretty sure I need to clear that out so the enemies are not bothering me. Main problem here being the fireball underneath the key. You have to drop very carefully so that it doesn't mess me up later on. And trying to make a pathway to the exit, which I haven't been able to figure out how to get cleared out before making my way back up. A spin-off story about the Overlook Hotel. Yeah. Read through The Shining book recently, and interesting to read how much it differs from the movie version. Apologies to Stephen King, but I think the way the movie version is laid out is a little better. So I definitely need to clear out a route through the bottom left. And then how do I get back up? Should be through the bottom right. I'm sure, like with any movie adaptation of a novel, there's going to be, changes for time and whatnot, but definitely some plot bits that get changed. This fireball is going to be of no use to me here because it doesn't actually get rid of those flames. Definitely need to at least go in this direction. Yeah, there's definitely more time to develop the characters' backstories and sympathies and motivations in the novel for sure. I think I have to use this opportunity to clear out. Did I already mess this up? No, because in order to make a pathway to the door, I cannot have dropped the flame yet. I still think I need to go this way. How much of this do I need to clear out? I think no matter what, I need to create that block. That's not gonna hurt or help. That might help in the future, getting those flames both in the same spot, because then I can build a path up easier. The tricky part is getting down and then back out. I think I can clear this block out, but it has not been great for me trying to get through that space. And once I go down here, I can't get out, so I would have needed to... I don't know. How am I supposed to actually get rid of those blocks there? The other thing I haven't tried is using the very beginning of the match to go down. No, because there's a flame there. Can't get down through there. Like, doing all this stuff doesn't matter too much. Maybe I should be clearing out the bottom first, and then finding my way through would be the right way to do it. No, I can just go down this way. That's the exit. Oh wait, yeah, how do I get out? I can't actually go down there anymore. Okay. Probably will want to go back and look through my footage, because I'm sure I revealed a one-up in this room at some point, and I don't remember where that was. Like, there's no possible way for me to get up and out from here or there. I can't go down through here once I've placed that block. Can't destroy the block down here. The wizard needs to learn how to do a handstand and then just like bonk the block down here to get rid of it. So I'll pause it right at the beginning here with my last life. I'm like, double Dana. Is going down right away going to help me in any way? Now, because that treasure down there, gonna... Actually, that wouldn't be so bad, because the block above the treasure, the little... This thing is a problem, this little coin, because I can't place a block there. But by going this way before I've removed the block above it, I can maybe still find a way out. destroy some blocks while we're at this. Yeah, it's like if there's a 2-block height, then it's like sort of trivial for me to be able to get through falling down the shaft. So I can go through this way. Carefully step over there. And that down there. So now I can... find my way up here. I don't think there's any reason why I would need to go that way. Famous last words. Oh yeah, I haven't actually solved getting through up here because that flame is going to be in the way. This flame up here is going to be a problem because I haven't cleared this block. Can't drop it far enough. But if I were to go this way first and get rid of that block, then I still have to find my way down here, and then I've got this whole problem with that space that I can't seem to maneuver down this way. Like the only thing I can think of is some kind of special jump that manages to get down in there with the block cleared. But I don't understand how that could possibly work. I'm 90% sure I'm in a solvable spot at the moment. We'll just practice climbing up this way. Yeah, with this block, I can't jump through the HUD, unfortunately. I can't get across this block in any way. Might have to do a lot more thinking again while staring at the map of this room. Try to figure out the right course of action, order of operations.